Take a look, it's in a book, reading rainbow. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get audiobooks, ebooks, movies, music, all kinds of stuff for free, completely legally, through your library. So if you are a person who enjoys things like Audible, then this is going to be a great free alternative for you. So this is kind of a part 2 to my video about how to stop hating mundane tasks like cleaning, doing dishes, laundry, blah, blah, blah. And spoiler, if you haven't seen that video, which I'll link it here in case you haven't watched it yet, but spoiler, the secret that I have to getting mundane things like cleaning done without getting super distracted is by listening to audiobooks. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I get audiobooks for free without doing any sketchy illegal stuff using the beautiful tool that is the library. So here we go. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to show you is Overdrive. And so both of these, I'm going to be showing you Overdrive as well as Hoopla, and they're a little bit different, so make sure you watch the whole video so you don't miss anything. But I will start with Overdrive and then we'll go over Hoopla. And both of them you can access using your library card, which I have right here. I don't go anywhere without this thing. Even in Guatemala, I have my library card. So let's get started. So this is Overdrive. I've gone ahead and pulled it up on the screen here, and I'll just walk you guys through the process of signing in. I'm not gonna sign up for an account because I already have one, obviously, but this is Overdrive. So if you just go to overdrive.com, you can access it, and they have an app for like every platform. Yeah, they have it for iPhone, for Android, as well as for Windows. So everyone is covered there. They also have an app called Libby, which is specifically for, I don't really understand the difference between Overdrive and Libby. They kind of seem like the same thing, but they're both made by Overdrive. So that is another app that you can use to access Overdrive's library. So I will go ahead and sign in. And if you're signing up, it'll have you select your library, and then you'll go in through your library's portal. You'll put in your library card number as well as your PIN and everything. And I believe I have mine connected with my Facebook account, so we'll just do that. And I'm gonna blur out any of my personal information here. Here we go. Hopefully this is connected to my Facebook, because otherwise this is gonna mess a lot of things up. Okay, so I have logged in here. Yeah, here we go. So download destination. How it works is, I believe the libraries, like your personal library that you have in your community, will be connected to like an e-library, and then those e-libraries can be accessed by the Overdrive library. It's all very confusing, but the library that my library goes through is called download destination. And so that's how I have access to Overdrive. So it shows here, I can click on download destination, and it will take me to the library. So you can see it's a different website. Again, it is kind of confusing how it all works, and it's gonna make me sign in again, which is kind of annoying. But I primarily use the phone app, and there we go. So I am now signed into download destination, which I accessed through Overdrive. So if it's a little bit confusing, just leave some comments down below and I can walk you through the thing for your specific library if need be. But I'm gonna show you guys how to use Overdrive. So let's say I wanna see what's new. So what I usually do when I'm looking for an audiobook is I will go to search, and then I will click advanced, and then I switch down to availability, available now, because if I wanna listen to something right now, then obviously I'm not gonna want titles that I'm gonna have to go on a waiting list for. And I always select MP3 audiobook as my format, because then it will only pull audiobooks that are currently available. Voila, like magic. So you can also select different things like any genres, any authors, anything like that. I usually just select everything. The only formats that I choose are the actual like format of the file, which is obviously an audiobook, as well as availability, because I want something I can have right now. So then I'll just click search. And again, I usually do this on the app, but for the sake of being able to see things nicely, we're just gonna do it on the computer for now. And so now it'll take me to all of the audiobooks that have been recently uploaded that are available. So we can scroll through these, and I am, you know the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover? I absolutely do that. What I've found, interestingly, is that if I like the author's style and their title, or not the title, if I like the author's style as far as the cover goes, I oftentimes will identify with and enjoy their writing style. So I don't know if that has any correlation, but I've kind of found that if I really didn't like the cover of the book, I don't really like what's in the book. But if it has a nice cover, then I'm gonna enjoy the content. So I totally judge books by their cover. Only books though, not people. Moving on. So then we can scroll down here and see all of the recently uploaded titles that are available. So, for example, let's see, it's getting to be that time of year. So we'll just say we're gonna click on the 12 Days of Christmas by Debbie Macomber. So we'll click on this guy. And you can do a lot of things right from the actual page that has all of the books on it. You can add it to a wish list, you can download it right away, you can do a lot of different things, but I'll just show you guys what the actual book page looks like. So this is what it looks like. You can either borrow it right away, it'll tell you exactly how many copies are available, which is really helpful if you're on a waiting list, because you can see that you're number 56 on 10 copies, so it's not gonna be that long of a wait. Or you can see here that there are only 2 copies left, which means that there are 5 people right now who are listening to a Christmas book in September, which is, I love Christmas, I'm Christmas everything, but it's too soon. It's too soon. It's almost not too soon, but right now it's too soon. So we can click borrow, or we can listen to a sample, or we can add it to a wish list, which what I like to do when I maybe have a book I'm already listening to, I'll go through and add a bunch of books to my wish list for the future. So then if I, it's laundry day and I'm sitting there like, okay, well, I need a book, but I don't have one, I can just quickly scroll through my wish list to find something I'm already interested in that probably 1 out of the 15 books I have on my wish list is available. So I really like to build up a wish list, especially if there's something I want to read that maybe isn't available and I don't want to wait for it. So definitely I would recommend adding things to your wish list, but we can borrow it. And you can select how many days you want to borrow it for. I don't really know why anyone would do less than 21 days. You can only select, I believe you can have 5 titles checked out at a time. So we're gonna hit borrow. All right, and there we go. So you can listen to it in your browser. You can download the MP3 title, but what I like to do is I will go into the app, go into Overdrive, then into download destination, and then from my library, I can see the things that I've checked out, and then from there, I'll just download. And it will download right to my phone, which is so nice, and then I have it to listen to. I don't have to be connected to Wi-Fi. The only thing is you have to make sure all of the different parts download. The kind of annoying thing about Overdrive is that it downloads each part of the book individually, which there could be 12 parts, there could be 5 parts, but they're all downloaded separately. So that's kind of the annoying thing about Overdrive is sometimes, very rarely has this happened, but occasionally one part won't download. So then when you get to that part in the book, it just like skips 5 chapters and you're like, wait a second, what is going on? So definitely make sure when you're downloading that the entire book, all of the sections download properly, and then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. So Overdrive is absolutely amazing. I'll try and figure out what's going on with Overdrive versus Libby. It looks like Libby is specifically for enjoying only ebooks and audiobooks, as opposed to with Overdrive you can download audiobooks, ebooks, movies, music, TV shows, pretty much anything digital that they have that your library has access to. Another quick point is that your library doesn't have access to everything in the Overdrive library. So for example, obviously if you go to your actual physical library, there are some books they don't have. And so just like that, in the digital library, your specific library doesn't have the rights to every single book, but you can request them, which is nice. Just like how you used to be able to, or I'm sure you still can, but I used to, if my library didn't have something, I could request it from another library and they would bring it in on the truck and they would hold it for me and I would get it. And you can do that same thing with audiobooks. So if you guys want me to go in depth into how to use Overdrive specifically, let me know below. And same thing with Hoopla. If you guys want me to go super in depth into Hoopla, then I will, but I'm kind of trying to keep it general here so we can keep this a little bit shorter. So you can basically download things to the app, then you have access to them. I personally prefer to listen to everything on my phone because I always have my phone with me. I can connect it to the Bluetooth in my car. Well, I guess I don't have a car anymore because I sold it. But when I had a car with Bluetooth, I could take it with me in my car. You just have a lot more options than if you only download it on your computer. And the app is really nice because it will keep track of where you're at in the book. It has options where you can skip forward and back 10 seconds. You can pause, you can replay, and if you pause and play, it will rewind 3 or 4 seconds so you're not lost as to where you were, which can be kind of annoying when you accidentally pause and then unpause and you're 4 seconds back. At the end of the day, it's 4 seconds, who really cares? But it is really nice because you won't just pick up where you left off and be like, wait a second, I don't know what's going on. So the fact that it rewinds a couple of seconds every time you pause and unpause is actually really, really nice. So I love Overdrive. Overdrive is the app that I have been using for the longest amount of time. But then one day when I was at my library, I saw a little card for a thing called Hoopla. And I was like, that's kind of a fun name. And so I looked it up and it is a lot like Overdrive. So let me switch over here. So Hoopla is very much like Overdrive in that you can borrow things from your library. And you have, I think, 5 titles you can check out per month. However, it is very different in that there is no limited amount of books, audiobooks, anything like that. I'm not 100% sure if you can download music. Yes, you can. You can download music and movies and TV shows and books and audiobooks. So, but the thing about that is it's more like Netflix, where everyone, like if there were 500 people who wanted to be reading the same audiobook at once, all 500 people could download it. There isn't a waiting list. You can just download anything you want automatically. So what I will often do is if Overdrive doesn't have something or I have to be put on a waiting list in order to download it, then I will hop over to Hoopla, and if they have it, I'll just download it from there. So it's a little bit more convenient than Overdrive because you don't have to wait for things to become available. You can just, there is a giant mosquito. I feel like there's always a bug that's bothering me while I'm trying to film. But there is not a finite number of resources. You can just download things right away. Another really nice thing about Hoopla is that it doesn't download the book as separate parts. It just downloads it all together as one, which can be nice because then it can't get messed up. Then it can't get messed up when you're downloading. It will just download the entire book in one piece and you can kind of more easily see how long the book actually is because you're not gonna say, okay, part 1 is 2 hours, part 2 is 3 hours, part 4 is 2.5 hours. How long is this book? And it'll actually show you how long the book is from start to finish. The only annoying thing is that with Hoopla, the rewind and fast forward buttons are for, I believe it's either 15 or 30 seconds at a time, whereas Overdrive is 10 seconds at a time, I believe. So if you need to rewind, you kind of are working with more space. With Hoopla, when you rewind or fast forward, it's kind of in larger chunks, so you can miss your place where you wanted to rewind to and have to listen to 15 seconds of stuff you already listened to, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but it does get kind of annoying. So there are positives and negatives to both Overdrive and Hoopla. I did some very brief research and I didn't really see any other apps like it that libraries are using. Again, I'm from Michigan, I'm from the United States. I don't know if there are things like this in every state or in every country, I'm not sure, but I would highly recommend checking because libraries actually have a ton of online resources that you wouldn't really know about unless you knew they were there. For example, if you guys are into learning languages, and we're getting off topic here, but if you're into learning languages, a lot of libraries offer a free language learning service called Mango, which is like Duolingo or any of those where it's an app and you play games to learn a language, but it's professional. You would have to pay to use it, but you can get it for free through your library. So all that to say, there's so much free stuff that you can get just by having a library card, and library cards do not cost anything. They're free. You get them for, I mean, you pay taxes, so you get access to things like this. So I would highly recommend taking a look and seeing what kinds of resources your library offers. But Overdrive and Hoopla are 2 of my favorite resources that my library offers. And so I would definitely recommend giving those a try, especially if you are into ebooks, audiobooks, downloading movies, things like that. And again, you can get things for free without stealing them or doing anything illegal. So please, for the love of everything, do not download things illegally. You don't have to do that. There's someone who, well, you paid your taxes, so you're basically paying for this stuff anyways. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's any questions that you have, please leave them below. If there are any questions that you have, please leave them below and I would be more than happy to answer them. Or if your library offers another service or another app that gives you access to free things, drop it below and maybe we can share and build, I don't know, we can all learn about all the different resources that are available. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. That would be super helpful for me. If you have any feedback, you can leave it in the link below. There's a link to like a Typeform form that you can fill out to ask me questions, suggest videos, give me any kind of feedback at all. And please, before you leave, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.